former Queensland Red superstars Aiden Toa and Galen Murphy. Lads, how are we?
Hey, boy, yeah, mate, good, really good.
Very, very excited to be here, obviously.
Bit nervous.
A little bit nervous. On our bench, the battlers, the gruesome twosome, Big Fat Darcy, Ryan Fellini.
Fellow Terration, mate.
What do I ask you? Oh, I don't really have a question, mate. I love you, mate. I'll stuff it up.
Yo ma, and welcome to the PAC Show, proudly brought to you by PEG Athletic Club and DoubleTake Studios, the show that brings you all the highlights, lowlights, reviews, previews, news and interviews for rugby here in Australia and around the world. My name's Jay Ball, and we finally got him back. Dos is joining Dow. Is joining Dow once again. Dos, good to have you back, brother.
Mate, good to be back.
How you feeling, man? Where you been?
Mate, it's been a tough couple of weeks. The first Monday, I had to work like a conference thing on.
We've heard all this.
Yeah.
We didn't believe you then. Say it again anyway. Whatever.
Look, I was secretly having conversations with other... No. It's nice to be back. I've missed this environment.
Yeah,
boys.
here we go.
I've missed this environment.
Do you want to tell him the things you were telling us last week, Dad?
Yeah,
That
go
was a
on.
private email chat. The Reddit thing I've started.
And also, our battlers, once again, we've got Kill Switch and Big Fat Darcy. Kill
Sawadee
Switch,
ka.
little Thai there, man. That's good stuff. Where'd you learn how to speak Thai so fluent?
Thailand.
Sure, mate. Whatever helps you sleep at night. How's your weekend, Kill Switch?
Mate, shit. To be honest, sick kids. Yeah, so I've just had a week and good day off because sick kids. It's not been great. It's been horrible.
Big Fat Darcy, can you do any better than that?
His kids are really sick.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. That's it.
Sick.
What happened to yours? Weekend. Your weekend. Anything exciting?
Okay. I was on... No, I was meant to play for the Black Dogs Friday night. We kick off at 8 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
My wife goes, I'm going to go to an early dinner, 5:30. So can you watch the kid? And then I'll come at 7:30. You can go to footy.
Okay.
I didn't come home till 12:30 that night.
Is she in the doghouse?
It's fine. It's my last year of footy, but, you know.
All you got to do
game or two.
is put that in the bank and don't...
Mate.
I was
Then
about to say.
when she comes home, that's
When
fine,
am I,
love.
when am I
That's
ever going to
fine,
be
love.
allowed to use
No,
it?
I was going to say, and the thing is, it's your fault that she was late, Big Fat Darcy. Come on, man.
Sucked in.
But no, I'm cool with it. It's fine.
That's cool, man.
It's fine.
Why? Yeah, you guys all right? I just sent a big text.
I got pain on my arm.
You're a real working man, Big Fat Darcy. All right, let's get straight into it. Because we've got a jam-packed episode. Joining us tonight, we've got Ronnie Rowson from the Western Force. He's going to be joining us just after PAC News. We've also got Damon Murphy. He's going to bury the hatchet with the Freeney clan. We're doing PAC News as per usual. We've had some teams announced for Fiji and Samoa. We're going to run out fine-tooth comb through that. We're probably going to discuss the Tars and the Red Seasons, give our pass or fail mark in regards to them. And without further ado, it's time for PAC News. Hit me, Zach.
Oh, it's getting better every week.
That was seamless.
That was
better. He didn't hit it.
That was really well done. Well done, Zach. Round of applause for Zach. Yeah, he showed me that beforehand. He's like, man, I've got a big P, big button that says it right now. So we're absolutely killing it. It's only about 3 months in.
That's a good.
We're
man.
doing well,
it's
man.
working. We're snowballing. We're getting better and better.
It's only downhill
Hopefully,
from
I
here.
don't stuff my questions up today. Right. And now we've got Brian.
I can't tell whether he's joking or not.
No.
Not confident.
Definitely not, man. He's definitely not joking.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, first things first. As we said, we saw last week the Tongan national team was announced and some big names in there. Samoa was announced, Jordan Taufua, Duncan Paua'awa, and Fitz Lee were all named in that squad alongside guys like Sef Angase was in there, Denny
Ed
Tuala, Ere Inari, Eddie Fido. That is a red-hot side. Andrew Tuala playing over in MLR and stuff like that as well. So that is a bloody good squad. And then, Friends, you were saying today, Fiji was announced as well. Some big names there.
Eel. Yeah. Yes, I did. Shout out to Manivalu. That's a big one.
That's a huge one.
Yeah. And
Massive one.
Obviously, one of the crowd favourites this year, Hambossi. Mate, he was electric. They're all electric, but... that just helps. But, like, you can see a lot of the Drua players in there as well, which is awesome. So that'll be, like we were saying before, be very interesting to see how their cohesion's going to be there, and having guys like Joshua Tuisova and all that coming in, like, holy hell.
Well, they were
I'm scared.
they were the one sort of Polynesian nation, DOS, that were probably the most cohesive up till now, mainly because of guys like Big Sammy Joshua Tuasova and probably the strength of their sevens program. They were probably the most cohesive. But now you can see Samoa and Tonga starting to get some of those big names back. Like, they're soon to be pretty unstoppable, you have to think.
Yeah, man. It's it's really good leading up to the World Cup. Obviously, I think having the caliber of players that have changed allegiances and representing Samoa, Tonga, made it brilliant. But as Freens just pointed out, it's good to see all the Drua guys, take that step up. I think they're going to, the way they've transitioned into Super, it's going to be seamless the way they transition into international rugby. Who coaches the Fiji national side?
I'm not sure. That's a good question.
Actually, it might be Vern Cotter. I think it's Vern Cotter.
Oh, it is Vern Cotter, yeah.
Who's a good operator. So he will.
You said it, and I'm like, yeah.
Who's been highly successful. So I reckon he'll be able to unlock a lot of qualities within this Fijian side and take them to a different level. But yeah, I think it's about time these sort of rule changes have come in. Yeah, it's great to see guys given the chance to represent. For a lot of them, maybe their country of birth or their mother nation comes with a lot of pride and passion. So, mate, looking forward to it.
Mate, it's going to be red hot. Talking of red hot, today the Wallaroos played their first match of the Pacific 4 tournament, I think it was, going down pretty valiantly, though, Freens. It was 23-10 the end score, but 10-5 in favour of the Wallaroos at half-time.
I'm going to say it, at the start of the game, the Wallaroos were very dominant over the Black Ferns.
Number 2 ranked side in the world as well.
They were playing so well. Like, compared to watching the Japanese game where they were sort of trying to go wide, they just went straight up the guts and they did really well. But I think it's just sort of the particularly maybe the front row bench that came on. The bench that came on for the Black Ferns were some big ooses. And the scrum, like the set piece was just the scrums and stuff, like they just lost a bit of ascendancy there.
Yeah.
But around the park, like Shano Parry, holy shit, was insane.
She's gone, mate.
She was insane. M. Chancellor and Grace Hamilton was having some crazy carries. Like they were all playing well. They were playing really well. So it was good to see sort of like such a dramatic, better performance. I'm so crap at all. You know what I mean?
A big step up.
A big step up. There we go.
Yep.
Yeah, they played really well.
Don't help him.
Thanks, guys. I get nervous. I don't know why. Look at you blokes every week, but I still get nervous.
Yeah, I love Das just sits back, just letting him flounder, just sinking to the bottom.
Big step up.
Sinking to the bottom of the pool while he sits there just licking an ice cream. Julian. The Junior Wallabies squad was announced last week as well for the Oceania tournament, which is being held up at the sunny coast. They've got a camp up in Longreach a couple of weeks before that, but their 40-man squad, coached by Jason Gilmore, was announced. No, not by Jason Gilmore. Nathan Gray, sorry. Composed of 2 ACT Brumbies, 12 Waratahs, 7 Queensland Reds, 5 Rebels, and 4 from the Western Force. Argentina, Fiji, and New Zealand, they're all the sides we're going to be taking on in this Oceania tournament, hopefully before the Junior World Cup. Dow, is there anyone in this squad you're really looking forward to see?
Obviously the Vahu, Glenn Vahu, he's a big one in that space. I think he's played a fair bit of Super Rugby now, and he's pretty exciting. I think what he's going to do at that next level. There's a fair few guys coming through. You got Mason Gordon at 10, and then
5 players from the Doggies are in there, the most from any club in Australia. Zach Hoff, Daniel Maiava, Lepeti Faifua, and someone else.
And
sorry,
still can't win.
I can't remember who it is off the top of my head. Mason Gordon.
The other big one is Jack Bowen. He's a young fly half, Scott Bowen's son. Obviously heads up the sevens program down there.
Yep.
He's a young 10. He's pretty exciting. So
Floyd Aubrey.
Yeah, he's
Floyd
a big one.
Aubrey, mate.
Nick Baker,
the man.
Yeah, Nick Bakes. He's
from
coming
Jeeps
along.
there. There's some good players coming out of there. So, yeah, it's an exciting squad. It's not quite the squad that was, the McWrights and the Wilsons, but I think these guys will go real well.
Going to give it a real shake.
Definitely.
And Argentina is now in this competition as well, Dos. Being exposed to them at that level, considering the last 2 years they haven't even really been able to play. It's good to be able to get as much footy under their belt in this legit sort of top-tier program as possible at that young age, eh?
Oh, mate, 100%. Any exposure you can get to, other nationalities in terms of the way they play their game. When I was back when I was in the 20s, the World Cup was in Argentina, so we had the pleasure of going over there. And man, it's just it's a totally different atmosphere. Very that soccer vibe.
Yeah.
There's just real passionate, proud supporters. Make great stadiums, and their team. They're singing the national anthem, and the Argentinian boys are tearing up, and they bring that. They bring that sort of passion to the game, mate. So it's great to see. Obviously, no Junior World Cup this year. No.
What do the Argies like to play against? I've never played against an Argentina.
Dirty,
Scary.
pretty dirty.
Yeah.
Around the ruck.
Similar to the French.
Their sevens team were like that. Mate, just like abrasive,
Thick and dirty.
Yeah.
Just how Big Fat Das likes it.
Yeah.
Sick. That's nice, man. That's real nice. Jason Gilmore, now, he's actually come out and said, because we know he's the newly appointed head coach of the Australia A team that's being brought back this year, has come out and said we probably need to chill out in regards to hyping up these youngsters, Dow. We've seen it. He made mention, earlier this year it was Rishan Pasatoa, and then hit a bit of about rushing them into the Wallaby setup, and obviously that's why we've got this Australia A program now. But he was sort of making his thoughts well known that we need to, I guess it was almost like an offhanded bar, but I guess the media or the public just to say, stop hyping these kids up. As I said, Pasatoa sort of hit a form slump after being spruiked as going into the Wallaby setup, and then you've got guys like Carter Gordon, all these youngsters. They're the sort of players that Jason Gilmore is talking about. Lay off them, let them go through this pathway so that hopefully Australia A becomes a legitimate pathway for them to go into the Wallabies without burning them out, yeah?
Yeah, certainly. I think you get the once in a generation type player like a Taniela Tupou who goes into straight in there. But
Chris Staunton.
it's perfect. Yeah. The way he's talked about it is bang on, and give the guys some time to develop, especially the playmakers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It takes time to find your feet
100%.
there. And Noel Alessio, we saw how well he's done at a Super Rugby level, but it's still a big step up to that next level. So give them time to develop, give them time at that higher level, and then allow them to come through the system. So I think it's great.
Do you expect to see Noah Lolosio playing Australia A instead of in that Wallaby squad for that England tournament?
I think it depends on how they break down their playmaker roles, whether James and Quaid come back. But if that is the case, then absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, you only need to look back a few years when young Damien McKenzie came onto the Super Rugby scene. He played three or four Super Rugby seasons before he got picked in an All Black squad.
Yeah,
And
they definitely don't rush him there.
No.
You've really got to.
That's what I mean.
You've really got to.
You got to earn it.
Yeah.
You have to. If he was he would have played his first 3 games in Super Rugby, and the Australian media and people would have been like, "Man, get him straight in there. Let's develop him in the Wallaby squad."
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, the Wallaby squad isn't a place
It's
where
not
you
a development
develop
team.
players. No.
No.
Look at all the stuff with James O'Connor that's coming out.
yeah.
He's
Yeah.
talking about, getting thrown in the mix and then just
He
bendering
burnt
really-
himself
Yeah,
out,
just
having
went hard,
seizures,
just went- yeah.
bashing
Yeah. Anyway,
lines and
he's,
everything.
he went hard.
No, he's come out and said he had a real bad drug and alcohol problem, had a couple seizures. Like you said, Dylan Armitage was like, dude, I thought you were dead.
Yeah.
Like he was
That's
seizing
an
up and
interesting
freaking
article.
out, and he was in a prison for 3 days with Ali Williams. Some dude shitting in his hands, rubbing them on the walls.
I mean,
Like-
and that's the other side to the argument, right? It's like you expose these kids too early, and either they crash and burn, and then you never hear of them again, or
And they get
you know,
slayed
or
in the
they're
media
they're
too.
somewhat successful, and then as a young person, you don't know, you're not quite sure how to deal with all the fame that comes at a young age, and then so it's brilliant to hear Rabs come out and make public.
Yeah.
What he went through.
What he went through and what he was thinking. And hopefully, people are listening and people are learning lessons. So I encourage, a lot more older players, ex-players who have been through it and been through tough situations to, come on platforms like the PAC show. Talk about what you went through, and it's a learning experience for everyone.
Well, that's it. And it seems like he's been very quiet on the media front since coming back, and it's been to his credit, but it feels like almost he's ready now to talk about it. And if he can impart any wisdom onto the younger guys. I think that's especially in regards to that shit, because that shit is scary
and
for
I think
anyone, let alone someone in the public eye like that.
Yeah, and it just, I guess it highlights how comfortable he is with himself at the moment, because he knows that with his comments is going to come, some criticism, and there'll still be people, going to have crack at him on social media or whatever, but he's obviously comfortable with who he is and where he is in life, so that, that stuff doesn't really matter for him anymore.
That's the point, you see how he's playing, his attitude, everything, it's totally different, but like you said, it's polarized, especially in that social media light as well. And if he, like you said, if he could part some wisdom on some of these younger fellas, it's going to be,
But going back, I think it's great to hear what Gilly said. He's totally right. There's a lot of good young kids out there, but make them earn the right to get a spot in the Wallaby squad.
Yeah, Dylan Peach, Mark Nwangani Tuasi, Tane Edmed in that scenario would absolutely flourish, you'd have to say. We've got Ronnie Ralston on the line, but we won't go to him just yet. We've just got one last thing. So it has been confirmed. We've got Dan McKellar, Scott Seal, Tom Banks going to Japan, Flau Fainga'a and Ire Simone all departing from the Brumbies over this off-season. Dow, that is a lot of experience. That is a lot of what they really base a lot of their impetus in attack and defence and their set piece around. How do you think the Brumbies are going to really adapt? Do you think there will be a bit of a teething issue? Losing players of that calibre?
I don't think so.
Lose.
I think they're just too good at what they do down there. Their program's the best in the country, and Dan will probably be the biggest loss, in my opinion, just how good he is. But, from all reports, Stephen Larkham has become a really excellent coach and developed a lot overseas. So bringing him back, it will be great. And then you got the likes of Rod Saib and those type of guys there who I think will continue to...
Laurie Fisher.
Yeah, Laurie Fisher will continue to keep it a really excellent program.
Is he a good bloke, Laurie Fisher? He looks like a good bloke.
Man, I would...
He looks like a kook.
Yeah, I've never met him, but I would assume so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon he'd love a schooner.
You'd think so. You'd think so. Looking like that, you'd want to hope so. Alrighty. Well, that rounds out PAC News. Thank you very much, Zach. Now we've got on the blower joining us all the way from Perth, formerly from the Brothers Rugby Club. It is Ronnie Ralston. Ronnie, how you doing, brother?
Yeah, it's good, mate. How you going?
Living the dream, Ronnie. How you feeling, mate? You got a sick little mussy going on there, man. That's good gas. How you feeling? I heard you were dusty today.
Nah, yeah, feel all right. Had a few beers last night. It was good. Had a good crack.
That's so good.
Not much has changed, obviously, Ronnie.
No, I've learned from two of the goats sitting on that table, mate. Bad influences, those two.
Mate, good to have you on the show, Ronnie. I guess first question: are you coming back to play for the Filth for the remainder of the season?
Nah, bro. I'm coming back. I fly out from Perth on the 25th, and then I spend a couple of weeks there, and then I'm off to Ireland mid-July. I don't think I'll be able to see the game, and I was pretty tempted to come back on the weekend though for Ladies' Day. I heard the boys gave it a good nudge, both on and off the field.
I was going to say not to play, but
that was pretty good. Nah.
Ronnie, tell us
I'll be around the traps.
Tell us a little bit about, obviously, Connacht. It's pretty exciting for you heading over there. They're a great club on the up. Andy Friend is doing a terrific job there. But you've also got some heritage. Talk us about, obviously, signing over there and what you're hoping that experience will bring.
Basically signed over there with the opportunity to go over there as a 13 was sort of the big sort of point in difference there. And then I was pretty fortunate in enough that Mum's mum was born in Ireland, so that's sort of how I qualify and get my passport. So big ups to Mum for having that.
and just on
the golden ticket, yeah.
And just on that, obviously playing 13, I've always seen you as probably your best position. Do you feel like that's your best position?
Yeah, I feel like it probably helps my strengths a lot. I really love defending, and I'm a massive student. And from the point of difference where I like watching a game as a defensive side of a player and like making reads and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I feel like 13, I can have a bigger impact on the game from there and help the lads more as a 13.
Man, I tell you what, Andy Friend putting Byron Ralston and Mac Hansen on the same team
Kills me.
Oh, jeez. It's going to be... There's going to be
Both
some...
be playing for Ireland.
There's
too.
going to be some off-field shenanigans happening, I'll tell you that.
That's sick.
Byron
No.
Freensley and Max. Congratulations, first of all, on getting a gig over in Ireland. I'm trying not to stuff this part.
Cheers, thanks, brother.
Mate, when you address it, you,
So last time I saw you, I was rinsing you on the sideline at the glue factory with your mullet, and then all of a sudden you're at Force,
Yeah.
and now you're going to Ireland. I'm stoked for you. Where'd you get that bloody shirt from?
This one?
Beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, my surf jumper. Now, Jonah Placid actually bought it for me. We've got matching ones. So, yeah.
There's a bit of an Aztec
Yeah.
influence.
Yeah, it's like a... I don't know, man. He got it for me from a surf shop. I don't know. Yeah. It was just a gag, I think. Yeah. It's
That
nice
was-
and warm.
that was actually going to be my question. But also,
Yes!
what's the wristband that you're rocking on your right wrist there?
Oh, that was just from last night.
That is what I wanted. Yes.
Guys, yeah.
Bit of head
no.
noise. Bit of head noise.
This is... yeah. Bit of head noise.
Such a stitch up.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, Ronnie, I just want to ask you a question, mate, because obviously we've just discussed it previously that there has been chat. I think Fergus Lee Warner sort of came out and said he felt like he was a bit slanted by sort of the Rugby Australia and Wallabies setup, not really getting too much communication, hence sort of hamstringing his potential progress through to the Wallabies jersey. I want to get your thoughts. Do you think being out there in WA, obviously you guys got punted, went to Global Rapid Rugby, you've come back, you're starting to build that culture up again. Do you feel like maybe you do feel a bit, not so much left out, but it's you're held in a different regard from other Super Rugby clubs being out there in WA and sort of, you know, being your own little entity out there?
Yeah, to a degree. Like, I think that's just like naturally it's going to be like location-wise, we're far away. We were like one of the last Australian rugby clubs. You know, we don't have that history that Queensland and New South Wales do. So, like, I think there's always sort of that chip on our shoulder that from players and from sort of an organisation, I do feel like that's still there. But like, I think you've just got to be winning footy games, mate, to be able to, over a sustained bit of period, to be able to really say as an organisation that you put your hands up to like promote players to play for the Wallabies. I feel like that's something that the Waratahs, the Brumbies and the Reds have sort of earned that right over years of, like, I guess, producing really good quality footballers, that they get the right at that. I feel like, you know, the Force is still young as an organisation and we need to put like back-to-back seasons together of winning rugby games to be able to command that sort of respect to say, hey, you know, you've got to pick 8 to 10 Wallabies from our team. Yeah, I feel like the organisation get there. That's certainly one of their goals, and I feel like they will get there over the coming years with the people they've got around the traps there.
And it's good to see you got that pathway really thriving. Kane Kateka, the first one to come through that WA pathway. He's just re-signed again, and same with Tim Anstey. I mean, it looks like you guys are building something good, obviously with Simon Cron coming in the mix as well.
Yeah, and I think the club has done a big emphasis on holding. Like, it's good to see those guys have re-signed, and I think if they keep Jeremy Thrush and the likes of Richard Kahui around and Greg Holmes, I think they'll even foster a greater environment. And, you know, you can't really substitute experience like that. You know, Cox has played over 100 Super Rugby games, Thrushy, Homer. That's experience that, you know, you can't really buy in a coach. And they've been around players now in that change rooms, and I think if they hang around and continue to develop the younger guys coming through, it'd be immense for the organisation.
Byron, I wanted to chat to you about your concussions and last year. Not a lot of people would know that you had a fair bit of trouble on the back end of last year with a few concussions. And tell us a little bit about that and how hard it's been to come back from that and what you've obviously had to experience. You're obviously playing a headgear now. Is that a big part of that?
Yeah, no. So I copped a couple of concussions last year and sort of rocked me and was out of the game for about six months there, I think, all up. Didn't do any contact and stuff like that for about 4 or 5 months. But yeah, basically the best thing that happened to me was that the club allowed me to come back to Brizzy, and I was just able to be around family and friends for a sustained bit of period, which really helped. And then coming back into it, it was just sort of reshaping how I looked at how I tackled. I love jamming with my right shoulder, so I had to start using my left shoulder a bit more and sort of did a lot of work in around 2-to-1. So tackled two times on my left, once on my right. And then, the headgear was just something I brought in this year. Just sort of, I copped a little knock this year and sort of didn't have that much confidence and just sort of wanted to have that and just to build my confidence back up. So I just wear that more of the confidence sort of thing now, to be honest, more than anything. And it's helped and it's been really good for me. So that's just a little thing I brought in this year. To help me, I guess, put another bit of armor on me, and it just gives me that extra bit of confidence, I guess.
Byron, Jeremy Thrush, he looks like a bit of a character. Is he good off the field? He looks like he'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, he's a great man. He is.
Is he wearing one of those wristbands as well?
Hey, nah, he's got a kid, man. I was messaging him all last night trying to get out. He's got a kid, so he can't.
What a loser.
He couldn't come, but he sent me a message this morning and he apologised and he said he would have been out with me, but
He would have had some
good.
FOMO for sure.
Yeah, he was there in spirit. Yeah, we've had some great nights with Thrushy. Yeah,
it seems like a good crew over there. Like, is it a good vibe? Like, have you enjoyed your time over in the West Force?
Man, yeah, it's been so. I've met so many good people over there. I've got to play with like some absolute greats of the game. I think Jono on the other day. Like Jono was my first roomies when I got into Super Rugby with Jono and Frizz. So rooming with them, man. And we were up in the Hunter Valley as well, and we're in like self-contained sort of apartment. So I was with John and Frizz up there for like 2.5 weeks. That was hectic.
Just watching horse racing.
Yeah. Punting, NRL 360, Benny Eichen, Paul Kent, and that's
Sums him up.
That was awesome. It was good. Bit of golf, yeah. No, it was so good. And then, we've had a real good core group of lads as well that are stuck around. Sort of, there's a few lads partying this year, but like I think the vibe's definitely good, and it's like big, like a lot of boys don't have family here, a lot of lads from over east, so you're literally with each other 24/7 pretty much. So it's really good. It's a good feeling. It's a good group as well.
Need a bit of WD-40 on that door, mate.
The housemates are checking through.
Wait, is Bo Abra? Is he an angry ranger? Does he get angry at defence or anything at training?
He's got a real soft underbelly. You just wind him up, the big fella. He's so good to wind up.
He looks like he'd go really red too when he gets busted.
Yeah, who runs that Bo Abra fan page? Is that Bo Abra himself?
Yeah, that's Bowie himself.
Yeah, sick.
He runs his own operation. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah,
Keep it tight.
Yeah.
He's trying to throw his own clout. Yeah, you
got Oh, that's amazing.
That's sick. I think Big Fat Das has a question for you, Ronnie.
No, I don't. But put your hands back up on the table in front of you.
No.
Yeah. Mate, that's a great camera angle. Look how big his hands look when he's up like that. I didn't have a question. You can't point me.
You deserve that. You were throwing mud at me before, mate.
Ronnie, are you heading over on your own, or are you taking a lucky lady with you? What's your current scenario?
Nah, mate, single.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Mate, the Irish
I
birds
haven't
are
managed
crazy.
to lock anything down.
But, Ronnie, I mean...
Yeah.
Look, at the moment, we know you are going to Ireland. You've obviously got the Irish heritage. It's safe to assume that if the Irish national team came calling to tap you on the shoulder to play for them, you'd obviously put your hand up. If there was a change to, say, the Giddo rule in the next couple of years and there was an opportunity to come back and you had to decide between, say, playing for the Wallabies and Ireland, is that an easy decision to make? Would you play for the Irish side or Wallabies? Like, where do you fall on that side of things?
Oh, that's a tough one, eh? I don't know. That's a big question for a Sunday, man. Jesus, what is Monday?
It's Monday, bro.
Head noise.
Sunday's there.
Nah, it's a public holiday over here, man. So, long weekend. No, I don't. To be honest, mate, I haven't really thought about obviously as a kid, I grew up watching the Wallabies, and stuff like that, and I always wanted to play for them. And I've been lucky enough to Dad's been lucky, but Dad's been really good. He's been able to take us to a World Cup and stuff, and be able to watch all the international teams. It was just it was always my goal. The top goal has always been to play international footy. So whether that's for Ireland or Australia, it'll be a huge honour to represent either nation. But for me, it's I just want to play good footy, and it was a big reality check last year that it's not guaranteed. It can end like that. So I just want to play good footy and play more of it. Hence the reason I want to go over to Europe and play more rugby games over there, and just give it a crack, man.
Bless you, brother. Well, yeah, we'll be cheering from the sidelines here, man. No matter what you do, enjoy Canuck. We've been loving watching you kick ass over there in WA, and we wish you all the best over in Ireland, brother. Get a hydrolyte into you and rest up, man. You've earned it.
Yeah, boy.
Cheers, lads. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks, Ronnie. Have a good one, brother.
Legend.
Ronnie Ralston, everybody.
What a man.
What a man.
What a bad interview for a Sunday.
Yeah, he looked like he was battling some demons.
He was
The hard
struggling.
questions.
I love it. That was a good one.
That was
Yeah.
brilliant. Yeah.
Oh, he was a late call up too. Could you tell? Bloody hell, man.
yeah.
He was stinging, man.
I think my questions were a bit better.
Mate, you did really well. I think
I forgot to tell
when
him
you asked that question,
That's what everyone looked
it
at
showed
me.
Ronnie, and when we all saw her off camera, everyone was like, oh, no.
Zach went back to you, and I'm like,
I forgot to tell him. I forgot to tell him this place in Ireland. There's a Kinsale Sevens, this place in Cork, County Cork, and it just goes off for the Sevens tournament.
I've
generally.
actually heard about that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Damn it! I should tell him that. It would have been good.
Oh,
I'll DM him.
Get him up.
yeah, bring him back up, Zach. Alrighty, yeah, special shout out. Thanks very much, Ronnie Ralston, joining us once again. Now it's time for the Battlers Bench, Big Fat Dust.
Do we have a... No?
No, you were meant to do that.
Oh, yeah, I
asked you
was.
last week.
Yes. That'll do. Until we got another one. Mate, guys, I've asked Dal a couple of questions. Now let's go to DOS. Let's get to know DOS.
All right.
Right? Okay?
Oh, no.
Perfect.
Here we
God,
go.
hold on. Let me get my Samsung notes. It's an Android.
Very well prepared today, Daz.
You'd think
He's
so.
really stepped up the last couple of weeks.
And it's
I'm
nice of you to
impressive.
get dressed up too, Dale. Thanks, man.
Toon Squad. DOS, you'd say you're quite a truthful kind of guy, right?
I'd like to think so.
Boom. All right. Let's go for some quick questions. Put up the clock. There's no these will seem quite random, but DOS, which Reds player loves Hawaiian shirts?
Oh,
Come on, quick. Quick.
Taniela. Oh, these are my African shirts.
Oh.
But yeah,
Wow,
Okay.
That was left
How many letters are in the alphabet?
26.
How old is Richard Graham?
Who cares?
48.
48. Okay. Which Reds player was a junior boxing champion?
Rod Davies.
Which rapper is married to Beyonce?
Jay-Z.
Which country has the largest population?
China.
Which rapper named his daughter North?
Kanye.
Who is the current Prime Minister of Australia?
Albanese.
In which country is Mount Everest?
Nepal.
Who is the current President of the USA?
Joe Biden.
Which player is the most capped Australian schoolboy player?
Ooh.
Elton Flatley.
It was QC.
Chris Fair-Isaltia.
Okay. Now, those are your answers.
What's
you
just happened?
You wouldn't lie to us, would you? Those are the answers that you think are correct. Zach, can you just quickly play some video? Let's. I just want to check. Just want to check some of these answers.
Here you go, Eddie Quirk here for another Fast 15. I've got the PNG born, recently engaged, handicap of 4, one of the greatest blokes out there, Aiden Manoa-Toa.
How young you look.
So, mate, I'm just going to run
my
off
slouched
15
shoulders.
questions for you and just see how you go.
Posture.
Sure. Thanks for having me, Eddie. Anytime. Which Reds player loves Hawaiian shirts? Loves Hawaiian shirts. Nick Frisbee? Me and Gilly. How many letters in the alphabet?
One lie.
26.
Correct.
Nice. How old is Big Rich Graham?
43. 41.
go. Which red player?
41 was the right correct.
Not Benny
That was-
Lucas nor
This is
myself.
8 years ago.
Yeah.
Rod Davies. Which rapper is married to Beyonce?
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z. Which country has the largest population in the world?
India?
China.
Lie.
Which famous rapper named his daughter Norm?
Kanye West.
Yeah, big Kanye. Who is the current Prime Minister of Australia?
Tony Abbott.
Lied again.
That's a lie.
Which country is Mount
Why do you
Everest?
change your answer?
Himalayas.
Nepal. Two answers, yeah. Who is the president of the USA?
Boy Barack.
Which player is the most capped Australian schoolboy player?
Crystal Clear.
Yeah, correct. Well, Aiden, I think you did terribly, but there were some good ones in there, mate. Thanks for coming along and having a crack.
Thanks, Ed. Thanks for having me, mate.
Oh,
Well, that was a pretty
That's
high,
good
That's a pretty
content.
high quality stuff.
that's good content.
hard.
Now,
Hitting.
Doss, why do you change your answers? Right? Like 1 minute you're saying this, and then 8 years ago you're saying another thing.
What else are you lying about?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, where were you the last 2 weeks?
Right? Yeah. Where were you?
That was good to watch. I've definitely gotten smarter in the last 2 years.
He couldn't get any dumber.
I tell you what,
You
haven't
filled
cha-
out as well. I
You look
reckon.
gorgeous.
Now?
You still look
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Yeah, man, I was
Think
slight.
it
I
does.
was only a slight person.
Yeah.
mate.
Quirky looked massive.
In old age.
Yeah. Skull.
How good was his hair though back then? That really made him.
It was lush.
That wraps it up. Zachy, hit it. We don't have one yet. We'll do it for next week. That was it for the Battlers Bench.
No, thank you. I forgot I did that.
Good answers.
Yeah.
Okay.
What year was that?
2012.
Well, Richard Graham's now 49. I did some research.
He
China.
used to have the biggest calves. He was my 14A's coach, I think it was. At Nottingham.
What were you doing on the ground looking up at him?
He did go to
He just
nothing.
had massive calves. Is that all right? Is it an observation?
Up to you.
Sorry,
That's it. Okay.
Well done, Big Fat Das. Round of applause for Big
Well
Fat
done.
Das. And Aiden Toa.
It was definitely better than the gardener content last week.
Gregor the groundsman.
We were.
We were scratching. Well, Das has been wanting to do that for 3 weeks now. He keeps coming in and he's like, no DOS? Like, no. He's like, shit.
Yeah, and also, I should probably check my WhatsApp. That's why. It's always a surprise. Oh, who we got on the video? Okay, cool. You got your questions?
It's like, oh, who we got on the
video.
video today? I had no idea. Left field.
Well done, Big Fat Das. You nailed it once again. Alrighty, now we saw over the weekend the quarterfinals for Super Rugby Pacific. We'll run through obviously that Brumbies versus Canes game
Boom! How good was that?
Unreal.
We won.
in a little bit of detail. Well, let's just discuss it then. The Brumbies 35 over the Canes.
go.
25, sorry. The Canes only score was at 3 points in
3
that
points.
second half.
Sucked in.
The Brumbies didn't start well, but geez, they finished well, didn't they, friends?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that was good. That was good to watch. Just good to see like a decent Kiwi side full of All Blacks go down.
Yeah.
I think that's happened last year, though, didn't it? Because I was dressed as Laurie Fisher tensing. Did this happen last year? In the quarterfinals, we Brumbies beat them again? Pretty sure it did because there was a photo of it 1 year ago. Me dressed as Laurie Fisher.
Well, then-
Anyway.
Well, then, yes.
Yeah, man, you're
Very
telling
good.
the story. Yeah. It's like you
must
want
have
us to
happened.
confirm what happened in your life.
They're going to win it.
In
Mate.
your Facebook timeline.
They're going to win it, boys. They're going to win
They're
it.
going to win it?
But Dow, not the most complete performance by the Brumbies, but goes to show the calibre and the quality of this side, especially being down Robbie Valentini, to come back and put on a second half like that.
Yeah, massively. They're a class outfit, and people kind of were questioning them after they lost to Moana, and they'd peaked too early, but it just shows how good they are. Someone like Tom Hooper, exceptional.
Oh, dude,
Number
I was gonna
6.
say, he is so sick, dude.
Was sensational.
But then
and-
Lukey
he got the
Reamy
red
gets the
headgear?
start over Jerome Hughes.
Yeah.
Jerome Brown. But, that's the calibre. They can actually sort of chop and change.
Valentini.
This is
And-
the yeah.
Is
the-
he the
Kill it.
guy with the
Robbie
red headgear?
Valentini's
That Hooper?
hoping to come back this week.
Red headgear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mate, I didn't know
Gun.
his name, but he's unreal.
He's unbelievable.
He's unbelievable. I was
Hooper.
like, at the start of the year, I was like, who's this guy? Anyway,
He
it's
is
Hooper.
so sick, man. He is so sick. But, mate, it was so good to see the Brumbies come away with that, Doss. Your
Yeah.
old mob as well.
Yeah, mate, really good to see. I think the the way they managed that second half, even though they were down, they never panicked, playing field territory, going to what they know, applying pressure defensively, just textbook Brumbies footy. And I think the Canes losing Geordie Barrett to a head knock for that, it was about 15 minutes there, and then they subbed TJ Perenara off, just lost a bit of direction. And, couldn't manage to sort of reverse the momentum that the Brumbies gained. But yeah, not our issue.
It's not our problem at all.
And, it gets, obviously they've got the Satyrs, do they?
Blues.
No,
Yeah,
got the Blues.
Yeah, Satyrs versus Chiefs, Blues versus Brumbies.
Yeah,
That's
so,
gonna be-
Saturday.
it doesn't get much harder. So, but, they're going to be prepared, and they'll be buoyed after the game on the weekend.
100%. And in the other results, we sort of touched on it. The Satyrs 37 over the Reds 15. It looked like the Reds might start something early in that second half with that first try, but they really couldn't put it all together. Not their best performance by a long way. They looked really fatigued out, didn't they? Like they just looked a bit like it had been a huge 2 weeks for them. It's been a big sort of 6 or 7 weeks in the back end of this Super Rugby Pacific. Their injury toll's still in the double digits going into a quarter final. That's going to be hard on anyone, especially in Christchurch.
Yeah, most definitely. I feel like they got a few selections wrong, in my opinion.
Yes,
Oh,
why?
Elaborate.
Yeah,
Go on.
Let's go.
I just feel like there's a few guys, like I don't understand why Fraser necessarily was on the bench.
Yeah.
Yes,
I feel like
100%.
He adds another dimension to that team.
He
So when he's
came
on
on
the field,
and started killing
I mean,
it.
what do you
Yeah,
think
and
the
same as
thought
Hunter?
process is?
Yes.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because
I think...
I rate wrongers. Don't get me wrong, but I think the way Fraser's been playing this year,
He's undeniable.
You can't just put him to the bench. I think.
He's undeniable.
Do you
in
think-
playing
do you-
your biggest match of the
do you
season,
think-
especially with Hunter Paisami? He
Yeah.
trained on the Monday,
He is
showed that he
insane.
can do it, race him back in. Hamish Stewart's a great footy player. There's no denying, but he's almost grandfathered into that 12 position, and unfortunately for him, I think your best 12-13 combo is going to be Hunter Paisami and Jordan Pataya
For that game.
every day of the week.
For that game.
And-
Hunter Paisami, man. He is insane.
Do you think
that
Thorny
guy.
was maybe thinking if they can hold on and be within striking distance with 25, 30 to go, bringing on Fraser and Hunter to add a bit of dynamic impact?
I don't think
potentially?
you can't
You
really
can't
let
rest
off
that
the-
in a quarter
Yeah.
final.
Not
And
against
Brad
the
Thorne, of all
Crusaders.
people, should know that.
I don't
having-
even know
having
why I'm
won
trying to
Super Rugby
protect
titles
Thorny.
with the Satyrs.
Yeah.
Like
There has to be some sort of method to the madness, but I just think against especially a Crusaders, you just start your best team and then you just got to try and hang on. And this 60th minute on, then you put some changes on. But I just think you need your best team.
you need to
on.
be in it to win it.
Yeah.
And I don't think, those selections really help that. The Chiefs 39 over the Tars 15. This was a fucking good game of footy, man. Like, this was such an awesome attacking, especially that first half. Like, that try that Dylan Peach nabbed to open the scoring was ridiculous with Ben Donaldson coming around the corner. The Tars, though, DOS, their own worst enemy. They just...
Yeah, couple of lazy errors. And against
Shitty penalties too.
ill discipline, and against a team like, any Kiwi team really, you really can't afford those little lapses of concentration. But if you were gonna, have a stab in the dark last year to see where the Tars would end up, no one would have guessed a quarter final.
No.
So yeah, mate, they've laid the foundation for the next couple of years, and it's good to see them from an Australian rugby perspective be competitive. Would have liked to see them go another level, but yeah, mate, pretty successful season, I think.
Yeah. Well, we'll ask your opinion then. Tars, yes, successful season. Well, couldn't get much worse than not winning a single game last year.
Yeah.
Dow, the Reds, successful season.
No, I think they'll be disappointed.
Yep, I agree.
It can't even be a decision. No.
No.
Mate, they were the Super Rugby AU champions.
Last year.
Yeah.
No clear progression
No,
line.
they've been
Even-
underwhelming. They've been
Even when they
underwhelming.
had a full squad, there
Yeah.
were still deficiencies in their game that either weren't being plugged up or were actually becoming more of an issue. You saw this year that any chance that we didn't have Nella on the field highlighted how important he is, and that's not a good thing. That so much of your side revolves around your tight head prop.
Yeah.
On both sides of the ball. You know, I think there's some players that are probably lucky to be in the squad, considering some of the talent that's knocking on the door in like the Aussie Sevens program or even
Well, who do you think?
in club rugby.
Name-
Josh Fenner. Mate, Josh Fenner should be in the red squad. Like, get him in a pro setup, and he is a gun. Josh Fenner from Sunnybank, they're number 8.
Halfback for the Storm.
Halfback. Like, I'd love to see
What about
Josh Fenner.
Liam Dillon? Like he's
LD is another one. Like,
I'm not going to rag anyone on the show,
but,
but,
like-
I reckon I reckon he's been amazing the last few weeks in club.
There are a couple of good halfbacks running around in club comp, in clubland.
Actually,
I think the Reds' major issue is their tight 5 depth. Like
their front row depth in particular.
If you compare it to something like the Brumbies, just that solid platform that hard tight 5 can give the back row to run. Like the Reds' back row and back line, they were all like incredibly stable, but that tight 5, like
No.
you can't win games without that solid top 5 and that front row depth. For me, is a bit of an issue.
Agreed.
I reckon
100%.
what you were saying before. Like we've got some guys that are sort of, I'm not going to name names, but probably lucky to be there.
Name names, man.
No, but I just reckon there's some guys that are solid, but we probably just need a couple of more X factor.
Yeah.
And they're more like the sort of depth players that you're sort of getting when you're getting a couple of
Yeah.
injuries on.
More like squad players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because there are
my
players
opinion.
that are like, I mean, I
Who,
said
Jay?
it.
Who, Jay?
Hunter
Who?
Paisami, Jordan.
Oh, no, I thought
like,
you were-
Hamish
okay.
Stewart is 100%. Like, Hamish Stewart isn't going to set the world on fire at 12, yet you've got someone like
Yeah,
Paisami.
but he's solid, hey? Like he's
He's quite a
He's
solid
solid.
base player.
Yeah.
Like
He's solid. I think Angus Scott Young's another one. Like, he's an awesome footy player.
Yeah.
But, like, compare him to Seru Uru, right?
Yeah.
Like, Seru can do some
He's got that
crazy
X-
shit.
yeah.
Like, he's got something that sets him apart. Like, nothing against Angus Scott Young. He's an absolute workhorse, but Seru Uru has so many more quivers to his bow.
Say it
Hunter
again?
Paisami at 12, I think, is a better 12 than Hamish Stewart. You know, like, you can't really just rely on workhorses in the Super Rugby setup. You need
Yeah,
something
correct.
that can set you apart,
Correct.
especially against Kiwi opposition.
Yep.
So,
I mean, and I guess for the Reds, it's guys like Filippo, Vunivalu, Jordan Pataya, who have that X factor.
our backline is full of
How good was
starting
Yeah.
with Tate
towards
McDermott.
the end?
Yeah, and Tate.
Yeah.
So, I think maybe they just need to look at different ways of getting them involved. I'm not too sure what it is. But and the strike power's there, but I agree. Hunter probably needs to start. Fraser probably needs to start. But yeah, season fail.
There was
in
some
my
wins
perspective.
during the year where it was just like so scrappy, and you sort of like
Yeah.
finish the game going like, "The fuck did I just watch?"
Yeah.
And
But then again,
that's sort of
I'm a fat dude. I'm watching on the couch.
yeah,
Whatever.
yeah. I'm sitting here. I've actually fucked
Yeah.
the butt
Oh my
already
god, that
and
was
sitting
such
here
a
just
stupid
talking.
thing to do, and then
Like,
I'm like,
you
stuff my
loser.
face with pizza.
Yeah, mugging a zinger burger like you fat
Ultimate
piece of
burger
shit.
meal. Yeah.
Ultimate burger meal. That is good gas. Alrighty, joining us on the blower now, we've got Damon Murphy, Super Rugby referee. How you doing, Damon?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
Living the dream, Damon. So first off, obviously we wanted to get you on just to nitpick a few rules in regards to World Rugby, but apparently you've got to bury the hatchet with Ryan Freeney over there before we go any further.
It's not me, mate. It's all referees around the world.
Mate, after Dad has a couple
I
of
was the one
runs, he
petitioning to
like,
apologise to the world.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Damon. I'm sorry, everyone.
What are you sorry for?
I'm sorry for being a grub. I'm sorry.
Finally,
But
but honesty.
to my defense,
Here we go,
Damon,
mate. You were so well.
you were no angel. You were no angel. We
A little chirpy back there.
yeah, a little bit chirpy. It was good. How do you deal with chirpy players these days? Do
You've
you cop
deflected
it
from
much?
you. Okay.
That was very well done.
You like that?
Mate, it's play on, isn't it? So I think everyone gets a little bit emotional. Everyone gets a little bit hyped up in the it. So, yeah, mate, it's part of the game. So it is.
There's nothing
You
better
were
though.
different, Martin. You were different, mate. You were off the field too.
Yeah, I was a bit full on, mate. Mate, but yeah, it was pretty awesome seeing that transition. Just like you could just see Damon just in the ref's face, and then all of a sudden he's got a whistle in his hand. It's like, what's going on here? It's like a glitch in the Matrix. It was awesome.
Dame, I haven't.
Very good.
Hey, mate, I haven't seen you the last couple of weeks. Is something going on? You injured or?
Yeah, mate, there is a little bit going on. I've somehow torn my calf, so I have. So,
Right.
Yeah, I don't know how it happened, but apparently did it 3 weeks ago. So I got like an 8 centimetre tear in my calf. Yeah, I don't know when I did it. I just had a scan and it just came up with my calf was a bit sore.
So how long are you out of action for?
They reckon 8 weeks.
Oh, shit.
8 weeks.
I did my calf playing touch against Issy on the beach. It's not fun. I've never blown a calf, but I did it that day, and it is not fun at all. I feel for you, man.
You never really think about it either, the idea that referees can get injured too, especially before finals time. Why isn't this in the papers?
Pretty embarrassing. I think that's I've been hiding about it, so I don't really want to be public, but it's now public, so...
You're welcome, mate. You're welcome.
Thanks, man.
Your guys' fitness is actually quite grueling, isn't it? Like, I remember going down to Ballymore one day and seeing the refs actually teeing
Training.
off. Like,
Were you hurling abuse at them?
yeah, he was doing his training.
Mate, I was never really lippy. I was just getting sent off.
Oh, bullshit.
Oh, it was a bit of both. Mate, you know what was funny, though? We're watching before a game. I don't know what was. Before a game, this is no shit. LV actually put a formal complaint in. The refs and the two touch judges were talking. It was against brothers as well, Jeet's first brothers. And the ref dead set said, just watch 2 green. His preconceived ideas is disgusting, you know what I mean? I was a good bloke.
Mate, they're not preconceived, mate.
Yeah. It's just cold, hard, proven fact.
It's your own.
They were walking from the car park and got yelled at.
My dad, God damn it.
Well, Damon, we'll get to some actual legitimate questions now because, I mean, you would obviously be well aware, being a World Rugby referee, that there are edicts coming down from World Rugby in regards to specific things. We've obviously seen the high contact, the dangerous play, and now the involvement of the TMO being able to get into the decisions. I personally say we need to get the TMO out of the game. I'd be happy for them just to leave it up to you and your crew to do it out there, but does it get frustrating knowing that you guys are obviously out there just adjudicating to the laws set down from World Rugby, yet there is so much conjecture from like the media and punters themselves in regards to how the game, especially in Australia, is sort of policed at the moment?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things, mate. I think the first thing, I don't think we do a good enough job in Australia educating the public about the laws, about the law changes, and about everything that's going on. Like you go up north and you watch a game of rugby, like a test match or a game of rugby, and like the supporters are so well educated and so all over all the new law changes and what's a red card, what's a yellow card. I think in the Southern Hemisphere, particularly in Australia, I mean, we're competing against 3 other sports codes as well. And I just think that times, because there's so much rugby going on and so many different codes, it's hard for everyone to keep across all the different intricacies, and I think that's probably one thing is we're just probably a little bit like less educated about what's going on. But then in saying that, I think all the time what people are trying to do is trying to get that perfect kind of, I guess, mix of, when does the TMO come in? Do we get the right decision? What's more important? Is the right decision more important than the TMO coming in, or do we just live with, the referees making mistakes? And I don't think anyone's found the perfect formula yet. I think it's trial and error. I think the other thing too, mate, is what people don't understand is a lot of the TMOs and even ARs, like, not everyone's fully professional yet, especially in Australia and in the Southern Hemisphere. Like you got TMOs and touch judges that are doing this, as a weekend hobby, and I think that also plays a part. I think that to get a fully professional environment, you probably need everyone in some type of part-time or full-time role so they can apply to their craft or apply to their trade to to help build, I guess, repetition, seeing pictures working together and stuff. Sometimes we fly over to New Zealand or to another country and you meet a guy for the first time. And I think a lot of people aren't aware of that. I think people think that like everyone's full-time, everyone's professional, but a lot of these guys are actually giving up some of their free time to actually participate in these games.
Right. Do you think if there was, I guess, more investment into developing referees, obviously here and in New Zealand, there'd be a lot more people willing to put that time in? Or what do you think?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess like the hard thing, mate, is like there's probably less spots available too. So I guess
Yeah.
like you think about like there's only 6 professional referees in Australia, and one of them's probably not even full time. So there's 5. Sorry, 2 of them aren't. So there's only 4 or 5 full time referees. So I guess like if you were trying to attract, Ryan Freeney from Jeeps Rugby Club, he's got to then start at the bottom, right, and work his way up. There is no kind of like, I guess, pathway where we can bring him in on 40 or 50 grand, train him up, and bring him in. So I think that's the issue as well. There is no kind of like thing, and there is only 4 or 5 spots, and those 4 or 5 spots don't come up regularly, if that makes sense. Like, you've got guys going, they're going well. Like, it's a pretty hard kind of train to kind of get on.
Yeah.
I think Freeney's proven he's happy to referee from the sideline for free, actually, Damon.
I actually got asked by one of the referees, I don't know which one it was, he's like, why don't you, we're looking for more front row guys, ex-front rowers to referee. I was like, mate, there'd be a lot being let slide. Like, on refereeing though, Damon, like, what's the sort of process after a game? Do you guys have, like, of course, in the heat of the battle, you get things wrong sometimes, but is there like a process with like reviewing and stuff like that as well that you guys go through?
Definitely, mate. So basically the way it kind of works is I'll referee a game Saturday, and then I'll be required to do my kind of self-review and then a review with my coach. And so my, like, I guess, coach/boss is Mitch Chapman, who probably everyone's aware of. He kind of runs the referee program here in Australia now. So we'll sit down and watch the game, and then what I've got to do is I've got to clip all the penalties that were refereed in the game, everything I think I got wrong, and then other things I might have picked up throughout the game that might be a trend. Say like one team might be like deliberately trying to slow the game down or diving off their feet and stuff. And then what I do is I clip all that up, put it into a package, and actually send that to each coach. And then each coach gets that package, they review it, and then they'll send back their clips and go, well, we think, can we ask you questions, or we think you might have got this wrong. And then by the time I get that package, it's probably like the whole review is probably, squared away by like a Wednesday that next week.
What's
that's good accountability.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's a hectic process.
Particularly one area I think's it's a bit of a grey area still is the ruck. Like, how hard is that to police and to stop obviously over policing the game? Like, is it quite difficult with all these new laws and stuff? Because it's quite hard, obviously to clear someone out at full ball when someone's jackling the ball and try not to hit a head and all that sort of stuff. Is it quite hard?
Oh, mate, I think so. I think and they say this all the time, but like people don't realise, like, and I don't know exact statistics, but like there's something crazy like 286 to 300 rucks a game or something like that, right? And you think about like what people don't understand is like I might go out and referee and blow 20 penalties, but I've actually made like 286 to 300 decisions at every breakdown not to blow or to blow. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There's actually a lot of decisions to be made, and mate, there'll be stuff depending on the game and where the game ends up. Like there'll be stuff that I let go that on review. You guys might have seen on review. I go, look, I got this wrong, yada yada yada, or I might have let it go. And then one of the coaches picks up and goes, why didn't you penalise this? So it's kind of like a tough juggling act. It's like it's never going to be 100% accurate. You're never going to be perfect. And I think that's the hard thing. But I think from a spectator point of view, what like the punter wants is, I guess they want a bit of clarity on kind of the big moments, I guess, and I guess accuracy in those big moments. And that's probably what differentiates, a guy doing Super Rugby or Test Rugby to a guy doing, down third or second grade or primary grade.
It's quite hard though, some of those decisions, especially in slow-mo, everything looks pretty bad in rugby.
You slow down every tackle down, there's head contact or an elbow or someone's fingers going across someone's eye or something like that, mate. There's hundreds of things you see on review that aren't picked up.
Hey, Dame, mate, just quickly, we've talked a lot about new squads leading into the World Cup next year. Obviously, a very big year for a referee. Is the World Cup, I guess, will be something that you'd love to be a part of. I guess for the Australian referees and that contingency there, is there like a selection process? Does it go through formalities? I'm assuming are you all going? Like how many of you get to go? And
so, mate, I don't know so normally the last World Cup they took 12 referees, I think it was, and 7 assistant referees, and then I think it was 4 TMOs. So and those guys officiate the tournament. Basically, what happens is like everyone kind of knows where you sit into the lead up to it, I guess. So like if you're not doing Tier 1 tests, so that's like the big kind of like the rugby championship, the Autumn's Cup, all that type of stuff, like Six Nations and stuff. Probably a couple of years out from the World Cup, you're probably not going to be in the mix, I guess, if that makes sense. But basically the process would be you do Premier Grade, and then from Premier Grade you might get an opportunity to start running touch Super Rugby. If things go well, you might get a Super Rugby debut. If things go well there, then World Rugby come knocking and might give you a couple of like low-level test matches. If that goes well, then you move up to like the bigger stuff till eventually you start doing like the pinnacle of the game, which would be like a Bledisloe Cup or a Six Nations game or something like that. And once you're kind of in that runner, then you're probably going to be looked at to go to the World Cup. But I don't think it's never really kind of guaranteed. But that's kind of the process, I guess, from a kind of simplified version.
I got to ask as well, Damon. So, like, just like any footy player, you always look at someone who might make a team ahead of you and think, "Oh, mate, I'm better than him. He's dog ass. He's shit ass." Does that happen in refs? So you look at like Matthew Reynard and you're like, "Who the hell is this son of a bitch? This dude sucks, mate. He can suck my beanbag."
But I think there's a lot more. Well, from our point of view, like I know, like the guys I hang out every day, like Geordie Wade, Nick Berry, and Mitch. I think there's a lot more empathy. Like I watch guys referee the game, and I can actually understand why they might have got something wrong or whatever it is. So it's just so subjective. Like you like no one. You all see it like on social media platforms, everywhere like that. Like people hate certain referees because their teams lost under them, but they might have refereed well. So I think the whole game's subjective, mate. And from my point of view, it's kind of like you're probably more empathetic than kind of going, he sucks or whatever it is. It's more kind of like I can understand why I got that wrong or why he did that, or from that point of view.
All right, leave it to us. We'll start wide-handing for you. Don't worry, man. We'll start a campaign. You'll be at Rugby World Cup.
I'll get Dad a bottle of rum and just tell him to rinse him on the
Damon, Big Fat Das here, mate.
Hold on. Have you guys buried the hatchet?
I was going to say...
I said sorry.
No, Big Fat Das.
Oh, what happened?
Is it true that you used to bully Big Fat Das?
I reckon you would.
I didn't bully him. I used to beat him up.
So bullying and beating up's different.
That's why I started eating. Okay. Anyway, there's that really, really true saying that is those that can't play should ref. And this one's for J-Ball. What do you think J-Ball's strengths and weaknesses could be as a referee? like strength,
Let's
fitness?
Strength,
out
fitness.
Out of 10,
like
fitness.
Loudness of voice?
Yeah. I think he's probably would be able to articulate well, so it'd be a strength.
Thank you.
That's the key to refereeing, is being able to articulate your decisions. I reckon he could make things up on the spot too, which always helps when you're under pressure.
It's good. I can't do that. Yep.
Look, I don't think
no real weaknesses to speak of, I assume.
The white shirt wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be flattering.
No,
the white
not
shirt.
at all.
The tummy would just...
Yeah, it'd be so
Look
good.
like you'd be smuggling a wok
I've
under there.
seen blokes in earth shape referee, important games in J-Ball, so I don't think fitness would be an issue. Last, you might be onto something here. It could be a complete package.
There we go.
There we go.
Pair of career savers, mate. You're on.
Hell yeah.
We'll get him a uniform. We'll get him down to a 5th grade game and see how he goes and can videotape it.
With one of those OPSM things on the back. Like, where's your glasses, mate?
It interests me, but I don't want to do it because I've hung so much shit on referees in my time.
It's a thankless job. Damon, he's case in point. He literally is gone to 180. He's gone the other side.
Well, that's it. I mean, they all say Damon has only been reffing for a few years now, but you've actually been reffing for about 15, 20 years your entire playing career, Damon. You're one of the most experienced refs going around in world rugby at the moment.
Yeah. That's what it proved, mate. It proved I've been right for 15 years.
That'll change the attitude.
That's good. That's good.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, Damon, thanks so much for joining us, brother. We really appreciate your time, and all the best with the calf, man. Hopefully you can get back up and running soon.
Yeah, too easy, boys. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, brother.
Damon.
Appreciate it.
Sorry,
Round of
once
applause
again,
for
I'm
Damon
sorry.
Murphy, everybody.
Jeez, I hate
I feel
referees,
real
though.
bad for refs
Fucking
now, man.
refs. Fucking
Shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
This guy.
I don't think Freeze is feeling bad at all.
I feel should feel pretty bad. When?
No, I never said that. I don't feel bad at all.
He said sorry,
Yeah.
but he didn't mean it.
Nah, he's-
I'm glad we're in Damon
had
on
his
talking
toes
terms now.
crossed.
Yeah.
About Friends, he comes in today, he gets his first question correct, and all of a sudden he becomes the host.
I blacked out.
Tables.
That was like 6 in a row.
My back's hurting from carrying the show.
Halfway through introducing Damon, and Friends was like, all right.
All right, move over.
Sorry, mate.
Zachy, cut their mics.
It's fine, man.
I just thought I'd be a bit more assertive.
No, I love it, man. I love it.
I just thought, I've got a
Take the
couple of
reins,
questions.
bro.
Everyone's giving me thumbs up. I'm just on a roll. Just keep going.
It's all that positive reinforcement,
Thanks, guys.
man.
You guys
They're
actually.
like, I'll ask a question now.
Yeah. Oh, is that what you're
Yeah.
doing? Oh, okay. Sorry, boys.
No. We're doing well. We're doing really well. We're all starting to find our feet, which is good. All right, let's quickly recap all the action from the Hospital Cup round 7. North 7 got absolutely pumped by Jeeps 54. This isn't the game we'll discuss, but Brothers 32 over East 28 on Ladies' Day out of Crosby. This was fizzing at the bunghole type of stuff. South 32 over Sunnybank 22. But the game we want to discuss, Dow, you were there. UQ 31, Bond 28. Back and forth all match, and then it came down to an 83rd minute penalty. Bond put it in the corner, not straight in the line out.
Classic Nick Turner. No
And
offense.
you actually said in the broadcast, you're like, now it's up to the experience of Nick Turner
Yeah,
to come
I
to
saw-
the fore here.
I saw-
Franks and beans, shanks it.
Oh, I actually forgot to. I was going to
Classic
message him after
commentators
that.
curse.
Yeah.
I thought I'd leave it a couple of days.
But,
after this, I will.
Honestly, one of the best games in
Ripping.
Premier Rugby I've seen in a long
Ripping.
time. Bond University are the real deal for one.
They're legit, mate.
If Dan Lancaster can hang around, they'll go close to winning the comp. He's outstanding.
What, is
Just
he only
his-
here on a loan or something?
yeah, I don't know how long he's here for. He's going back to play for Ealing. He signed with them.
Oh,
so I
right.
think he's just here for a short term. But him, just the control he had. And then Liam Dillon, as you said,
good,
Friends was outstanding.
But they still have Hayden Sargent.
What
who
about
can
that?
step
What
in
about
and
that
fly up.
try? he
yeah,
set
but I
up?
think he just brings a different dimension.
He does.
He's a lot more classy than Hayden
He's
Sargent.
a
and-
more genuine 10.
yeah, and then on the other side, like
Like an
UQ
English type 10?
Yeah,
good
but no,
boot.
but like he plays a little bit of X factor and goes to the
Yeah.
line quite well, and good short kicking game. He challenged the line a lot,
Yeah.
and then for UQ they just find a way to win, and they
Dogs.
weren't honestly they shouldn't have won.
No.
They weren't the better team, and
Nah.
It's like brothers. Brothers shouldn't have
yeah,
won.
somehow
No.
they just found a way. Like
That was
Paddy
massive.
Murray was outstanding. He was phenomenal for them. Finn Hearn, he
Finn
was
Hearn. Love
very
him.
very good.
Nooker
Love
swirling. Hey, he's a big. Hard,
Yeah,
hard
He
again-
is thicker than a bowl of oatmeal, that dude.
He gives them
Who's
like,
that?
Nuku Swirling, they're number 8. Trained with the Broncos a few years ago, I think.
Did
He broke his neck.
Bond or
He broke his neck like he
Nah, for UQ.
UQ
for
number 8.
Bond, I think it was,
He doesn't have a neck,
and
does
he was
he?
out for like a year. Like he straight up broke his neck or something.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so it's good to see him play.
But yeah, the heavies, they always just manage to...
Yeah, they.
I hate that
I'd
guy.
actually
Yeah,
like
so
to
do
go. And,
I hate him
I
so
wouldn't,
much.
But it's fascinating. I'd like to see Hino like what he does for training and stuff because they're always like intense. They're not like super physical and stuff, but they're always just super intense and like well drilled and stuff.
My brother's Resi's coach there with Ox, and he says Hino's just no fuss. So he's run hard, tackle hard, clean out hard.
no
Like
fu-
that's sort of what his core is. He's like you show up, you put in, you get out what you put in. That's
Yeah.
it. Like he doesn't piss fart around, and that's why TJ Cassini doesn't start a lot of weekends because if he doesn't train Thursday, he doesn't play. A player of his caliber, he's willing to sit him on the bench for the first 40 minutes to set a precedent. Like you don't get a lot of clubs that do that.
Yeah.
Like
No, you
sets a
don't.
rule, sticks to it, even for one of your top 2 or 3 players.
I don't
like
think we even
that's
had a full squad on in 2018 when we won. Like, because dudes just wouldn't rock up to training. They're good though. They're really good.
They were sick, but like,
I think
Didn't
I
train
spoke
well.
3 words to that Jay Thompson like all year.
oh, the centre,
Yeah,
the
he's
winger, the Kiwi dude.
You just walk out and you won't see him until next Saturday. Just go home.
Then
What's that?
Yeah, Gatorade saxophone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's back in New Zealand. Doesn't matter.
He was pretty good.
he was so sick.
He had a gig with the Crusaders and stuff, and then just
He was Southland. Played for Southland, I'm pretty sure.
Just didn't care.
Anyway, Shoot Shield round 10. We saw some pretty big matches. Warringah 33 over West Harbour 32. Zachy Boy was telling us Jack Debrezini kicked a 45-metre penalty to go 2 points up, and then Ben Woollett does the same straight in the 83rd minute. Manly 29 over the Two Blues 22. Gordon 13 down to 33 against Eastern Suburbs. Wildfires 24, South 31, Uni 31, Eastwood 20, but Randwick 44, Norths 44. Defence optional in this game. Jesus Christ, this was a good game of footy, Dow.
Yeah, it certainly was. Obviously came down to the wire at the end there, but just the standard of competition at the moment's fantastic.
Penalty try at the end too in the last minute or so. Christian Yasmin going to go in. High shot from Max or Harry Bury, one of the Bury boys. He holds the ball up and the ref's like, well, penalty try, but so 44 all though. But then you look at all the other results, as you said, Dow, such a close competition, and every side pushing every other side in the comp. Like South's getting up over Hunter, who have been on a tear the last month.
Interestingly, South sacked their coach last week, Todd
Wow.
Loudon. Yeah,
Todd Dowden as well.
Todd Loudon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he used to be at uni, didn't he?
Sydney Uni. Yeah,
Yeah. He won a couple of
Double
premierships there, didn't
Yeah.
he? And they sacked him. They gave him the arse.
apparently. Yeah.
Jesus.
Whoa.
I
Hectic.
don't know. Yeah, hectic.
What are your thoughts, Doss? You're a big fan.
Yeah, I love Shoot Shield.
Hey, Doss.
Whoa!
Me and you, mate.
Whoa!
The old poop shoot shield. Hey, mate, it sucks.
It's a great comp and it's close this year.
There it is. Buzzwords.
You never know.
East and
I'll be
Wits.
honest, I've been sitting but I didn't watch the game either. But I love yous.
This is why we keep Dal around as well. He actually does the effort.
All right, rugby of the round.
What's your rugby there, Doss?
My rugby, he's been mentioned tonight, young Tommy Hooper.
Tom
Mate,
Hooper, yeah.
that red gear at the Brumbies, it's just, mate, he's relentless. Artie Sarvea is one of the most dynamic runners in the competition, runs at Tom Hooper, and Tom Hooper flies into him.
Shuts him down too. He's
Just shuts him
leg
down.
chop city.
When he runs, he just runs straight and hard. I mean, Bobby Valentini's coming back by all reports next week. And I don't know, he's just put in such a compelling case. He's obviously going to make way for Rob, but
Yeah.
man, he's
Just this skinny little honky.
yeah,
He
just
played.
reminds
he
me a
played
lot of
second
Benny
row.
Hine.
Yeah. Do you keep him in the row?
100%.
Hey,
Do you put him in the row? Do
Yeah.
you bench Neville
He-
or Swain?
I don't know, man.
Well, that means then you're probably going to be dropping Nick Frost
Nick
from
Frost.
the squad.
He is like Heine though. He just cuts people.
Yeah, good to
Yeah,
see
maybe
Benny
have
Hine
Tom
back.
Hooper on the bench.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Tom Hooper on the
makes
bench.
sense.
But it was good to see Benny Hine. Good to see him back.
Yeah.
Playing some footy.
Week to week.
Yes.
Yep, week to week.
Captain coach.
He has been through a terrible run.
Captain
of injuries.
coach.
Yeah, we
Do
basically.
you remember?
He's
What,
not the captain nor the coach.
I know,
Yeah, I was like, oh shit. What?
remember back when he was still in Colts and he came out of Colts at Brothers? Yes, I did used to play there. And he was just
And
a
every
big
other club.
Oh, whoa, man. Well,
Remember when you went to the Stingrays?
yeah, it was good fun.
You all got real big.
Yeah.
I didn't. I didn't know about it.
Jeez, they were juicy
Sure
there
is,
for a
man.
while,
They
weren't
were
they?
I'd have been pretty
massive.
juicy.
That
I
was
did. I
annoying.
did not know. I did
Was
not
it
know.
Sean Simonek?
Yeah, Sean.
With
Oh.
the with the calves, dude.
Oh,
Mate,
yeah.
I'll tell you a
I
funny.
was like a colt, and I'm like,
I'll tell you a funny
look
story.
at this
Big
dude.
He chip and,
Um,
he chip and chased a fullback versus East one day. It was insane.
That's
I'll
ridiculous,
tell you,
man.
2008, we went on it was like a Reds development tour to Ireland, and Sean came on the tour. And then we were I think after we played Leinster, so we were in Dublin. Everyone out, gassed, come home at like 3:30 in the morning, and there's big Sean Simonek sitting in the hallway, just outside his room, just eating protein powder.
Oh man,
Mate, he's
Unbelievable.
when he gets on the piss, he gets on it, and it's hilarious.
Yeah,
mate.
The things, yeah.
he was a good dude.
Yeah, I remember
Interesting
just
cat.
like, as a cult, like, oh man,
and
like,
jacked.
look at this dude.
He is
I just
jacked.
remember
Couple of
his
jack boys.
calves, dude. His calves were so hectic. Speaking of huge calves, Dal, who's your rugby today?
Young fella, club-wise, Cooper Burtonshaw, played for Brothers on Ladies' Day. Big number, or big
lock?
number 5, lock. Made his way up through, the grades, 4th grade, 5th grade, all the way through to Premier Grade debut, starting debut on the weekend, went really well, whacked a few people. Was very, very good.
Good.
Too bad he plays for Brothers. Freeney.
Douglas Raymond.
Dougie Raymond.
He's got a bucket ass on him too, hey? Like, he was just unstoppable on the weekend. I mean, just against North, no offence.
4 tries?
Yeah, and just in and away, just brushing everyone off.
What position?
Well, on the wing. He was really good on the wing. He's a good
Doug
centre,
Raymond.
solid swinger, but he's on the wing. He was carving. Love you.
How do Jeeps replace old Pat Nicholson? at
Todd
fullback?
Winkley.
Is he
Todd
back?
Wick-
Is he
mate,
playing?
and
The body's back.
He should have seen the try he scored. He's like dove out like full League One, and I don't even know how he did it. He's got smacked by 2 blokes, and he's just got it in. He's gorgeous. He's the hottest man in Premier Rugby.
Oh, calling it.
Big call.
Yeah.
Now, because you've retired.
Now that you
Now that I've retired.
Now that you leave as
I'm
Premier
plus-
Grade kicks off.
Yeah, I'm plus
With your
size.
back.
I'm plus size.
I don't even want a bench.
that chair nearly flipped on you.
It happens. Counterbalance.
Big fat Das.
I was going to go with Louis Liner. He's got a pretty
Ooh,
pretty
yeah, he
good
did.
try for the Quins. But I'm going to go for, mate, I love seeing Vunivalu in full flight.
yeah.
Just full gas and blokes. That try, Petia's gas that he showed.
Palangi.
Just a touch of a step to the right, boom, he's gone. Vunivalu over. So
Yeah.
Vunivalu.
He's starting to get long minutes on him too, which
Oh,
is sexy times. My rugby of the round has to go to Kobe Milne, the fly half for Randwick. Just this skinny little kid out of New Zealand. I think he used to play for Fukuoka or something over in Japan. I think he's 22, but mate, had the ball on a string, scored a couple tries, gun.
What do you reckon,
Absolute
Ados?
gun.
What do you reckon, Dos?
Yeah, I think he's got great potential.
Like, he can't even.
Like,
He's still nice going, this sucks.
As soon as
Wait,
it happens,
wait,
it's
a
just
really
no
good-
effort to try.
Wait,
It's just like,
He's
I
just
mean,
still so nice.
who does he play for?
He's like, it's a really good competition.
Randwick.
Who does he play
So he plays for, they scored 44 points on the weekend, so he must run a well organised attack. Has the ball on a string. Yeah.
I love
such disdain.
Good to have you back.
Shoot
It's
shield.
good to have you back, Dos.
Yeah, man.
so happy, mate.
Oh,
You
hell
weren't
yeah.
down in Sydney, were you? Watching the shoot shield? Going to all the games?
Unfortunately.
It's almost political, but just like, fuck off.
Alrighty, well that rounds out this week's episode of the PAC Show. Dos and Dallin, thanks very much for joining us. Same with Kill Switch and Big Fat Das there over
sweaty.
the Battlers bench. Zachy Boy on the 1s and 2s as per usual. Big shout out to Ronnie Rouse and Hanover Island. Thanks for tuning
Beautiful.
in, joining us, and Damon Murphy as well. Putting a human side to the referees. Don't like that. I don't know how I feel about that. It's going to make me feel weird watching footy now. But thanks very much for tuning in. Be sure to tune in next week, and we'll see you then.
Woo!